So I guess this constitutes an update, I guess. I'd said a while back on social media that I wanted to talk about this whole situation from its complete end, but if I were to do that, this would be probably another year coming. So I'll basically just lay it out as what's been happening the best I can, but I got to be careful because there's certain information I can't really give out. So first of all, let me just say I apologize for my hair when it started like this. The front part was like whoosh straight up. I promise you I'm not that guy. It was layered down a little bit. So we got to go back to, I want to say, early summer of last year. So early summer of 2020. Sorry about that. My kid was calling. So yeah, we got to go back to early summer of 2020. So as we were getting ready to move into the house that we're in now, my wife's family, meaning her parents, her older sister and her family, as well as her grandparents, and pretty much want to say at this point almost all, if not the very vast majority of people, got letters in the mail saying that there was a company interested in their property. And what it boiled down to was the county was basically trying to acquire all this land because they wanted to sell it off to a tech company that would turn it into, that are planning to turn it into like an energy farm, industrial park. You can, I recommend maybe doing your own research on this and looking it up. But it's making its round on the local news. It was actually a front page story for a little while. But I believe it's White Pine is the project. So White Pine, and then look up New York, and then you'll probably figure it out. But I don't want to get too much into it because there are still lawyers and paperwork in play. But anyway, so they're basically saying they want to purchase all this land, and no one really knew what to make heads or tails of it. So we end up moving in late September, closed shortly thereafter, and there was a town hall in November just to kind of like get some answers as to what's going on. Hey, is this legit? So yes, it was legit, and basically the city councilman or city manager or whatever basically rolled over and played dead because they want this land and they want to be able to sell it to them because they think it's a way, income, completely disregarding the fact that like people who have been here their entire lives. I mean, my wife's grandparents have been here for decades, and just like that, they had to sell their property because in that letter they were also threatening eminent domain. And for those of you who don't know, that pretty much means they take you to court. You are going to have to pay all lawyer fees out of your pocket, and if they win, the court can then order you, the homeowner, basically to sell it to eminent domain for way less than what it would go for it on the market. So clearly we're trying to avoid that. And yes, it is legal, and it's nonsense. So the county was saying they wanted to make sure it would be right and everyone would be fairly compensated. They clearly dragged their feet on that because starting offers, again, and this isn't 100% what I can tell in full because legality, and I don't need I believe slander would, I don't need to get hit with any slander nonsense. They dragged their feet on a lot of these negotiations to the point where, like, we had contacted them, I think, in January, February, and we had contacted the attorney that was sending out all these letters, and that said, hey, we just moved here, we just moved in, and, basically beginning of October, and, officially signed shortly thereafter. I mean, are we going to have to move too? Because my wife's family had all gotten paperwork and notices stating that they would have until the beginning of July. So technically today, which is a reason why I'm doing this video now, to move out. I'm not going to get into like how long it took for everyone to get their payout and dragging their feet and the nonsense as far as the insurance needed and them having to sign the paperwork over to the county. Like maybe I'll do another video talking about it if people really want to know. It was a mess. So we reached out to the lawyer. When I mean we, I mean my wife did, because it's her name on the house. My name is in the utilities. And said, hey, what's going on? Are you guys going to be coming for us? Because we're at the top of the road. We're at the top of the road, which is also where it meets a major route. So we had our questions, because that would mean the state would have to be in play with us too, because if they're going to like extend the entrance to turn it into industrial park, I mean, obviously our house would be one of the first to go. He was very non-receptive, very rude, very callous, very cold, and he said, well, I guess we could be. And then when asked how much we would want, Sarah threw out a rhetorical number, and he pretty much laughed at it, and said he would get back to us. He never got back to us. As a matter of fact, we actually got a letter in the mail from OSIDA, which is basically the group that's heading this whole project. White Pine is just the name of the whole project itself, but OSIDA is the county lead behind the whole thing. Anyway, they sent out a purchase option which listed how much they would be willing to offer for the property, which is exactly what Sarah's number was, the ballpark number she threw out there. And at that point I was like, you know what? You guys have made life hell for everyone on this road. People who've been living here for years, having to uproot themselves and go because they're afraid of having to go to court and basically be left with nothing. People who have watched personally, my sister-in-law, who literally built a house from the ground up. Like, I was there when they put the first shovel in the ground. I wasn't there that exact day, but like I was watching them as it was progressing, from them literally like stripping the land to building the house up. The house was like barely 5-6 years old. And watched as, her dreams of living on this road pretty much for like the rest of her life gone. People who've been here for decades, who have been in part of, local communities and townships, having to give up their homes, just pretty much thrown completely under the bus. And then now we're reaching out to them, the guy who's heading the whole project, who's being a real dickhead about it. Apologize for the language, but I'm sorry. I'm going to call it like I see it, and that's how he was acting. I'm sorry, but when you got friends and family and you just moved into a house in the same area with all of the above, and the only way you know how to react to people is by laughing at them and stalling with them and playing hard to get, no, I'm sorry. You're going to get the name you rightfully deserve. So, we're like, no, not now, because of all this, and he never wanted to get back to us, and he laughed at us, and my wife's family had to struggle as they had to pack up everything in a very short period of time, and they all decided they were going to move to Tennessee, like a 12-hour drive, fun. Making several trips back and forth, and we're like, no, we're going to get ourselves a lawyer, and they're going to pay for it. So that's what we've been having going on for the last couple of months. Has been a lot of, he's such an idiot. You're such an idiot. He's fine. He's got separation anxiety. And so yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on here for the last couple months. Then I've been busy with that, helping out her family with that, trying to get stuff taken care of on my end as far as scheduling goes. And it's been crazy, man. It's been a crazy few months. It really started coming about, I want to say, in May, and then in June, that was when I had to start taking some time. I had to start scaling back at work because my mother-in-law watches my daughter during the week, and I don't have a sitter, and the cost of childcare in this area is insane. I'm not sending my kid to childcare and then paying like $150 a day. I'm sorry, that's not happening. And like, that was a quote I was given from one place, and I've heard people say, "Oh, try another." I'm like, it's no. With one car, it's just it would literally cost me more money to go to work than it would be to stay home. So that's what's going on. So right now we're waiting to hear back from our lawyer to see what our next play is, because they're in negotiations with the county on our behalf. So we're gonna find out what's going on. My wife went to another town hall a couple weeks ago, and basically they're saying this project is gonna have like an end date somewhere in 2022, maybe a little bit longer than that, but they obviously want to get people out of here before that so they can, start doing their work. So, I mean, we're thinking a year. So there's a very good chance by the summer of 2022 that we're going to be out of here, and looks like we're probably going Tennessee bound as well. So that's what's been going on with that. And I've been working on my detailing on the side as like a way to generate some extra money, something I like doing. Will there be some videos on that? Yeah. I'd like to do that with an actual camera and not my smartphone, just so I can actually get a good amount of footage. But, we'll see on that. But that's what's been going on here. That's why there hasn't been a whole lot of videos. There's been a lot of stuff going on the home front. And then, of course, with my kid growing, just changes and how, like, now we were firmly into she wants to keep sleeping in our room phase, and those of us who have kids, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, between that and life and everything going on, that's what's been going on. So now you know. If you got any questions, ask in the comments. I'll do my best. I'll answer them the best I can if something wasn't clarified. But yeah, that's what's been going on, and hopefully I try to get more videos out when I can. I have some ideas, but like I said, want to get better equipment. So until next time, now you know.